Now at 10, the federal interest rate on the rise.
This action marks the end of an extraordinary 7-year period.
Tonight, the impact on your wallet when it comes to savings and loans. Plus, Patrick Henry High School earns top honors for its innovative teaching techniques and student success.
I think our entire board is surprised and concerned.
And the Minneapolis School Board chairwoman addresses the controversy surrounding its superintendent search. Thanks for joining us. Randy is off tonight. The nation reached another milestone in its recovery from the 2008 financial crisis. For the first time since 2006, the Federal Reserve bumped interest rates today. The 0.25% increase will affect rates on everything from credit cards to 401ks, mortgages, and car loans. Already, the nation's largest banks are increasing their prime lending rates. John Croman joins us now with the impact.
Well, you know, the good news is that these Fed hikes will be gradual, and there's not a one-to-one direct correlation between this rate and what consumers pay to borrow money, but it is the beginning of a longer trend. Wall Street liked what Federal Reserve Bank Chair Janet Yellen had to say, the benchmark short-term interest rates moving up 0.25%.
This action marks the end of an extraordinary 7-year period.
People with variable rate loans will feel it first.
So if you have a home equity line of credit that's at a variable rate, prime plus or minus whatever it is, that will probably go up almost immediately.
U.S. Bank's Liz DeZiel told us more interest rate hikes are on the way, and that will indirectly put pressure on mortgage rates.
So folks who bought a house a year ago or sometime this year, they timed it just right. And folks who are thinking about making a decision, now is really the time to make a move because rates will continue to go up.
I think the marketplace will be just fine next year.
Chris Goller of the Minnesota Association of Realtors says mortgage rates will rise at least a 0.5 percentage point in the next 12 months.
In the longer terms, that will turn some buyers off because they're going to lose affordability. And that will force sellers to re-examine their prices. The difference between 4 and 4.5% translates to an extra $40 to $50 a month in payments on a standard $200,000 30-year mortgage. But the cost of borrowing money is still lower compared to historic trends.
We've got to keep in mind that this is still well below average. A lot of people we know were lining up to get mortgages at 15, 16, and 17% back in the 80s.
Now, the reason that Wall Street welcomed this move is because it's a signal, a sign that the U.S. economy is now strong enough to handle the interest rate increase. Now, the people in charge of monetary policy are always, or the Fed are always doing this balancing act between making credit affordable and trying to prevent inflation. And Julie, you remember, some of us remember the word inflation, which was a big factor back in the day.
I'm simply too young to remember that, but thank you, John. Thanks a lot, John. Well, it's beginning to feel a lot like winter outside. Fargo saw about 8 inches of snow today, and Duluth broke a record after it received more than 7 inches of snow. But it was a much different story here in the metro. Belle has our first look at the forecast. Hi, Belle.
That's right. We get the cold, but we didn't get the snow. That's for sure. The snow is still falling on the North Shore from Duluth all the way up, and some spots have between 7 to 12 inches of snow across the region. We'll have a total tally of all of the amounts coming up in some beautiful pictures as well. But as we take a look at the metro, snow is gone, cold is here. It is 25 degrees. It is 17 in Bemidji, but that's not telling the whole tale. Of course, we have to factor in the winds. We have west winds at 21 miles per hour. They'll slow down a little bit tonight, but right now it is 11 degrees. That is how it feels. And by morning, it will be right about at that same temperature. So a cold couple of days ahead. We'll have the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Belle. It has been 5 months since the mysterious murder of a North Minneapolis artist, but there have been no arrests in 68-year-old Susan Spiller's death. While police say they are moving forward with solid pieces of evidence, Spiller's family is preparing to part with some of her renowned artwork. Tomorrow and Friday, there's an estate sale at the Spiller residence in North Minneapolis. The collection features her glasswork, jewelry, and metalwork, all on sale to the public. Meanwhile, the community is yearning for justice.
I would like for folks to do a little bit of soul searching. Somebody knows what happened here. And I would like for them to search into their soul and find a reason to speak up about it.
All of the proceeds from the artwork will go directly to the Spiller family. You can find more information at KARE11.com. In Baltimore, the judge overseeing the mistrial of an officer charged with Freddie Gray's death will meet with attorneys tomorrow to discuss dates for a possible retrial. Other than the arrest of 2 protesters, it has been calm in the city since today's decision was announced. The jury deliberated for about 16 hours over 3 days, but could not agree on a verdict. A legislative meeting on body cameras today did very little to move toward new guidelines on how the video recorded by police officers would be used and who would be allowed to see it. Right now, Minnesota law enforcement agencies create their own rules on how to use body cameras, but other agencies wonder when the cameras should be turned on, how long the videos should be kept, and when the videos should be released to the public.
Agencies want to implement body cameras, and without this legislation, the costs are going to be prohibitive and they won't do it. That is a sad situation for all of us.
Other lawmakers, meanwhile, do not see the legislation as a priority when the session begins in the spring. The head of the Minneapolis School Board is defending the board's decision to suspend contract talks with its superintendent candidate. The board named Dr. Sergio Paez as its next choice for superintendent, but then abruptly stopped the negotiating process after complaints surfaced about his past. Now Minneapolis school leaders are planning a trip to his former district to look into it. Jay Olstead has more on the controversy, all new at 10.
I think our entire board is surprised and concerned.
Minneapolis School Board Chair Jenny Arneson is talking about new allegations of student abuse that may derail Sergio Paez's appointment as the new superintendent.
We voted to suspend contract negotiations while we investigate and do more due diligence regarding the recent allegations.
Just 48 hours after voting to enter into contract negotiations with Paez, a watchdog group in Massachusetts released a report that alleged staff in the Holyoke School District restrained special ed students inappropriately, even throwing them to the floor and slapping them. If true, it would have happened while Paez was superintendent.
We work with the information that's given to us.
Arneson defended the school board, saying their consulting firm, along with the district itself, did extensive background and reference checks.
We talked to state and local officials at his former places of employment, and these topics didn't come up.
In a statement to KARE 11 today, Paez wrote, "I am proud of my record in Holyoke and other school districts where I have worked passionately to serve and protect children."
I don't think we should jump to conclusions until we would hear exactly how the process went.
By phone today, the executive director of Minnesota Association of School Administrators did not want to pass judgment on the vetting process by the Minneapolis School District, but did say finding information is a lot easier these days.
We have the internet. We've got Google. It's very difficult to have something of significance not be known.
By the way, a criminal probe is now underway into the abuse allegations, and 2 Minneapolis school board members will travel to Massachusetts Friday to meet with Paez along with other school officials and parents. They'll report back to the board January 12th, where some sort of decision is expected. Julie?
Well, Jay, I'm just curious. It was mentioned nowadays you can just do a Google search. You tried that. Did you find anything that would have raised flags in your mind?
Yeah, I didn't find anything. It was a simple Google search. Didn't find anything other than the information stories that were coming out the last couple days.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay. A North Minneapolis high school where 89% of the students are minority is making headlines this week. The students and teachers were ranked the 3rd best high school in Minnesota by U.S. News and World Report. Adrian Broadus shows us why.
It's kind of like playing a video game because you got like your basic controls.
Video games aren't limited to fun.
This is basically where the brain is. And this part here controls, or where you control the robot.
The technology helps students at Patrick Henry High School learn. In the 2015 U.S. News Best High Schools rankings, Henry ranked 3rd in the state. U.S. News and World Report examined student performance on state-required tests. The student body is made up of nearly 90% minorities. The report examined how the school educates students with low-income backgrounds.
If they are coming in with skills that are lower than their current grade level, we're trying to work with them intensely so that they make more than a year's gain in a year, because that's really the way that we close that gap.
The report also measured the way schools prepare students for college.
I know it's only 50 words long, which makes it really difficult.
At Henry, students like Selena Mua participate in after-school college prep programs. Today, she's working on a Stanford application.
Yeah, I want to go to Stanford. I want to go to a lot of schools, but like Stanford is like my top. It's my reach school.
Patrick Henry officials say last year 98% of students applied to a college or university, 78% enrolled, a sign the future is bright for the students who walk this hall. Adrienne Broadus, KARE 11 News.
It's great news. Minnesota has 1 gold medal school, 5 silver medal, and 175 bronze medal schools. Great River School in St. Paul is Minnesota's top-ranked high school. Well, the St. Paul City Council passed a resolution tonight to ban Donald Trump's hate speech, but not the candidate himself. Councilmember Dai Tao offered an amended resolution to the one introduced last week, which proposed banning Trump from the city of St. Paul. Tao says he got hateful emails and phone calls about the measure. He told the council he wanted to let people know that racism will not be tolerated in St. Paul. But some council members expressed concern over suppressing free speech. Well, one of Trump's closest rivals in the polls will make a campaign appearance in Minnesota tomorrow. Ted Cruz will hold a rally at the Harriet Island Pavilion in St. Paul. The event starts at 6. It's all part of a multi-day trip called Take Off with Ted that includes 7 states that are holding primaries or caucuses on Super Tuesday. Still ahead at 10, Mother Nature's impact on sales of winter weather gear. And it may be one of this year's most popular Christmas gifts, but the manufacturer of those hoverboards is facing some new legal heat tonight. Plus,
and you never really understand it until you go through it.
4 Pine City hockey players find comfort through their cancer battles both on and off the ice.
Wow. Hey guys, Will Ferrell and Alicia Vikander are here tonight. Plus, we have music from 21 Pilots. It's a great show. Do not change the channel. Wow.
It may be one of the most popular Christmas gifts this year, but now the maker of the popular Swagway hoverboard is facing a class action lawsuit. It claims that Swagway failed to warn consumers of fire risks. The New York man who filed the suit says his hoverboard caught fire while charging and damaged his home. More than a dozen hoverboard fires have been reported this year. Well, extra money in drivers' pockets could spur a final push for Christmas sales, according to the latest Consumer Fuels survey. It found 27% of Americans say they will increase their spending this month due to lower fuel prices. That's a 3% increase over last year. Well, winter weather gear is piling up on store shelves thanks to the warm weather we've been having. Local retailers say the lack of snow has hindered their ability to sell any of it. Sales of winter coats and boots are down 36% in New York, down 34% in Chicago, and 35% in Atlanta. So sellers are getting creative by launching their after Christmas sales right now.
I mean, we have all these skis and boots here, but we're not seeing the amount of volume as far as customers coming in. Same with snowshoes. We're just not seeing the amount of customers coming in for the winter specific stuff.
On the flip side, outdoor shopping malls like Arbor Lake say they have seen an increase in traffic. I will tell you what, a noticeable difference as we went through the evening here in the temperature. It's cold outside.
It'd be good to get those sale items and get a bunch of them and layer up. No question. It is chilly out here. The temperatures have been falling. The wind chill is really the big factor. Let's start out by taking a look at your pictures. You know, we don't have any snow here in the metro to speak of, but it fell very well in many parts of the state. And look at these pictures, really hampering roads. Terry, thank you for that picture. Look at this gorgeous shot up north. Joe took that gorgeous picture. Jennifer, lots of the trees coated. It was pretty warm when the snow came down, and we had a lot of that. And look at that beautiful picture from James Bailey. This is all in central and north central Minnesota today. This comes from Grand Rapids, from my aunt and uncle, Shelby and Rich. They said finally some winter. They said 6 inches at their house in Grand Rapids. Look at that beautiful shot. That's what we need here in the Twin Cities, a little bit of snow, but we did not get barely any. In fact, 0.7 of an inch, but a lot of it melted, of course, when the rain came down. And across the metro, anywhere between 1 inch to 1.5 inches is really what happened, which pretty much was exactly what was supposed to happen. It's always nice when the forecast actually mines, the weather mines the forecast. How about that? We had 3.4 inches in Mille Lacs, 5 inches officially in Grand Rapids. Duluth had 7.1. They had a little bit more even this evening. That was a record for them. And on the North Shore, it's still snowing, and they have a foot of snow in some of those prone locations. It is 25, but the wind chill right now is 11. We have west winds at 21 miles per hour. So this is the forecast for the wind chill. We're starting out with 11 here, single digits all across the state. No question there. And as we move toward the morning hours, dress for 15 tomorrow here in the city, 9 in St. Cloud, 7 for our friends in Wilmer, 9 in Brainerd. Brainerd got about 2.5 inches of snow. Alexandria, it'll be 4 in the morning. That's how it will feel with that wind chill. Here are the temperatures overnight. They will just hold steady in the 20s, but the real factor again is going to be the winds. And winds tomorrow will be out of the north at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here's your planner. Overnight blustery conditions, a few flurries. Tomorrow we'll have mainly cloudy skies and flurries for the morning commute. And as we get into the evening hours, we will have some skies breaking up, and we do expect to see some rare December sunshine. It has been so cloudy. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. 28 degrees, cooler flurries will be at 24, but again, dress for 15. And then Friday, Saturday, look at these lows, 14 and 9, the coldest air since March, 20 and 26 with some sunshine. By Sunday, we'll have some sun in the morning hours, but then we'll have partly cloudy skies through the afternoon and evening flurries. And then we lead into Christmas a week, and as you can see there, it'll be cloudy on Monday and 35, but then here comes some light snow on Tuesday and on Wednesday. And that's right before Christmas, obviously, Christmas Eve on Thursday. So hopefully we'll get an inch and it won't be a brown Christmas. We have Sergeant Major Easton here. It is Toys for Tots time, and we are coming to the end of this amazing campaign. How was today?
Today was really good. You know, the last couple hours, people have been bringing in lots of toys, which is great. So I talked to the people at the warehouse. We are accepting toys for all ages, but right now we're kind of looking for toys for ages 0 to 2 for both boys and girls.
Okay.
And then girls 8 to 15. So
Okay.
that's what we're looking for.
And there are a lot of drop-off spots, but here at KARE 11, it's a great place to drop off because you get to meet a Marine, which is wonderful. And if you're quick and you're in a hurry, which a lot of us are, they'll come right out to your car and grab your toys. So thank you so much for everything, and thank you for your service. We have Brad Crandall here from CU Companies. Hi, Brad.
Hello.
And look at this great group here. Thank you for coming in. A big check. Thank you so much for your contribution.
You're welcome. This is our 15th year participating, and this year we collected 632 toys and just over $2,000.
Wonderful. You guys staying warm tonight? Look at all these cuties. Thank you for coming from CU Companies. Harvey Vogel Manufacturing Company is back here by the fireplace staying warm, and we have Lonnie Ruley here. Hi, Lonnie.
Hi, thank you for having us. Our group at Harvey Vogel Manufacturing rallies together each year to support the Toys for Tots program. As a metal stamping and assemblies company, we support the medical, military, and commercial industries. We also strive to support our community, and so our generous employees rallied together and went shopping and purchased over 100 toys to donate this year.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You staying warm back there?
Oh, yeah.
The fireplace, we love it. All right, we have Melissa Kraft here, and we have the folks from Edina Eye. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, thank you all for coming. We do appreciate it. What did you guys do this year?
Well, this year, every year we get together and we decide to do some sort of charity as a company, whether it be a food drive or a clothing drive. And this year we did Toys for Tots, and we were able to collect 50 toys and $1,000.
Well, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. We've had so many wonderful groups. This has been an amazing year, and of course, each and every year is, and we have a couple of days left. Here's the information. From 8:30 to 10:30, you can just come by right here at KARE 11. We're at 8811 Olson Memorial Highway, and this is all going to be wrapping up at the 19th. And as he mentioned, 0 to 2 is an age group, and also, of course, for the older kids, and we're adding up the toys. So thank you for your contributions, and thanks all of you for coming out tonight. KARE 11 News at 10 returns in just a few minutes. We've got sports coming up. Don't go away.
KARE 11 Sports from the Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine Sports Desk.
Plunging downward, the Timberwolves have lost 8 of their last 9 now. Tonight in New York against a below-average Knicks team. Big game for Aaron Aflalo. He leads the Knicks with 2 of his game-high 29 points on the turnaround jumper. They were pulling away at this point, but the Wolves rally back from a 20-point deficit. Karl Anthony Towns, big game, back in his hometown. 25 points, 10 rebounds, while Andrew Wiggins chips in 23. Zach LaVine, 19. Not enough. Knicks beat the Wolves 107-102. Goldie pumped for tonight's Gophers-Chicago State non-conference game. First half, Carlos Morris with the miss, but Jordan Murphy is there for the flush. He had a double-double, 12 points, 18 boards. That's impressive. Second half, Charles Buggs, the sheer determination to get his rebound and power in for the basket. He scores 14 as the Gophers pull away for the 70-52 victory. Gopher women, though, lost to New Mexico earlier in the day. The fight against cancer is on in Pine City after the high school's activities director lost his wife last year. The community rallied to raise money and awareness, and as Ryan Shaver tells us, they have another reason to do just that this year.
An empty net, a wrist shot, and repetition. For Pine City sophomore TJ Roth, there's something soothing about hockey at its most simple.
It takes my mind off everything. It's the world to me.
That's because TJ's world away from hockey hasn't been easy. For the past few years, his mother Sue has been battling breast cancer. But on this team and in these stands, both Roths aren't alone.
We're not a very big team. We've only got 28 on our team. So 4 have had to fight through this.
4 players, 4 moms, 4 battles against breast cancer.
That shouldn't be, especially when you're talking about high school age kids.
That's where Camoed Up versus Cancer comes in. A night dedicated to raising money and awareness with something as simple as a shirt.
It's not about us. It's not about us moms. It's about the cause.
But before the game, it was about the moms. And senior captain Brandon Fisher made sure to soak up the moment.
When my mom hugged me after I picked up the puck, she said, "Beat Mora tonight, you guys can do it." And I said, "I'm gonna score a goal just for you."
And sure enough, just minutes into the game, Fisher found the net for Mom.
In a night like this, you just kind of just, in the moment, you just want to stay there forever.
A hard-fought win on the ice, but for these families, it's the fight off it that matters. In Pine City, Ryan Shaver, KARE 11 Sports.
And finally, it's farewell to one of the greatest players to ever take the pitch in women's soccer, Abby Wambach's playing one final game for Team USA against China. She actually gets a shot on goal in the first half, doesn't go, but hey, 184 goals in 216 games, more than enough. Wambach retiring from the sport at the age of 35. Nothing short of awesome right there. That about does it for sports. We'll be back after this. Goose?
You look like a movie. You sound like a song.
I've got Belinda singing over here. I can't tell the difference. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of. Tickets to one of the most anticipated concerts of 2016 go on sale in less than 12 hours. Adele fans are sure to form a long line outside the X tomorrow, where she will begin her worldwide tour next July. People will get wristbands starting at 9 a.m. before the box office opens at 10. And we have on our Facebook page instructions, too, on how to get tickets, because it's not going to be easy. 2 dates, July 5th and 6th, if I remember correctly. So
Tuesday and a Wednesday.
All right, good luck, Belle.
I'm going to try. Who knows?
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.